Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I want it to be a little bit more on the motivational side. I have been doing some self-reflecting on life, on business, on everything, and I feel like a little bit has a little bit to do with the fact that it is my birthday month. So with that, just turning a year older, you do a lot of self-evaluation, I feel like. And I mean, most people don't, but I do. This year, just, it's a little bit more than the normal. And just evaluating where I'm at in business, where I first started, where I'm at today, and even potentially where I'm going to be at in the next 5-10 years. I mean, there's so much growth. There's so much that I haven't achieved yet. There's just so much within me that I want to do. I look at all of these amazing artists and entrepreneurs on like my Instagram, and it just blows my mind. And when I say mind blown, girl, that is exactly what I mean. It just gives me so much hope as a business owner myself, and all of the endeavors that I've yet to tap into. It really makes me believe in myself. It makes me believe, like, girl, you can do it. Other people are out here just killing the game. I mean, whether it's lashes or hair or a nail tech or owning your own restaurant or creating, something vegan related. I mean, you name it, people are out here doing it. So I look at them as inspiration in the sense of, if they're doing it, why can't I? If they are successful, why can't I be successful? If they are out here starting from ground zero, I can do it too. And so it really gives me a lot of hope, and so because it's given me hope and I see what it does to me, to my soul, to my spirit, to be able to look at someone else's success and know, man, they started from the bottom and look at where they're at, or how is it that they are doing what they're doing. And so many entrepreneurs, what I love is they're not selfish with their success. I mean, they're so upfront, they're so honest about, it's hard, it can be hard, it was a struggle, I didn't have a lot of money in the beginning. I mean, whatever it is that they have gone through, they share that. And I want to be able to do the same thing for other women who are out there thriving, who are out there, reaching their goals. And I know that my story is impactful just as much as the stories that I listen to, or the other stories that these other women have gone through or are going through. And so I'm just excited to be able to know that I'm at a place where I can share my success story. I can share, my how-tos. I can share, just everything about being in business. And it excites me because there was a time in my life where I lived off of welfare. Yes, you heard that correctly. I lived on welfare. I received state money assistance from the state that I live in. I even, there was times where I would get food from the food banks. There was times where I would even go to our local resource area here in the valley of getting help with like my electric bill, because I couldn't afford it. I mean, from poor money management to barely making ends meet from a job where it paid me minimum wage, and then being a single mom. I mean, if you're single in general and you have a cute little apartment, great, you can make ends meet. But when you're a single mom, and you have not only did I have my mouth to feed with food, but I had little kids to worry about. The struggle was real, y'all. There was times where I didn't even have enough money to pay my phone bill. There was times where I remember walking to work because I couldn't even put gas in my tank. And I remember that there would be people, who would, like see me, friends. I mean, because we live in a small town, like friends would see me walking down the street and ask if I wanted a ride. And I remember just blatantly telling them, oh no, girl, like the weather is so good. The day is so pretty. I wanted to just walk. The truth is I just didn't have money in my bank account. I didn't even have 2 pennies to rub together to even put anything in my gas tank. So when I say the struggle was real, oh, it was real. So I know what it's like to literally be a welfare mom. I know what it's like to not have any money. I know what it's like to just know the time that my mom would cook dinner and me and my kids would go over there just as a, hey mom, I'm in the neighborhood. I wanted to come visit. But in reality, I didn't have money to feed my kids that evening. My mom always came through, which I'm so thankful, but I made it work, and I figured it out. And, even if it meant me not eating that night so that my kids could eat, I went to bed on a super hungry stomach. But you know what? As moms, you do what you got to do. And as moms, you figure it out. As a mom, you put yourself sometimes on the back burner for these children so that they are okay and so that they won't know the struggle. They won't know, or you think that they don't know that there isn't food in the fridge, to feed everybody. And, or even the times where I thought I was pretty discreet about crying myself to sleep because I literally had no idea how I was going to face tomorrow, how I was going to face my children. I didn't want them to know that mama was struggling and I was trying my hardest. But there comes a time where you basically have to look at your life and your circumstance and kind of throw your hands up in the air and decide or ask yourself, like, is this life? Is this it for me? Is this all that life has to offer me? And if it's not, what's next? What is the thing that's going to make me change? What's the thing that's going to help to be my turnaround? Like, who's going to help me? I mean, you have to really look at your life and do some self-evaluation. So when I was in my 20s struggling, trying to make ends meet, I had to do some serious self-evaluation because I knew in my heart of hearts that there was more out there. I mean, there was so many dreams that I had and so many things that I wanted to do and so many things I wanted to buy myself and my children. And it was just a dream. It was just a thought. It was just something that was a mere figment of my imagination. But, it came to a place where I didn't want that to be just a figment of my imagination anymore. I wanted to start making things a reality. I wanted to take trips. I wanted to buy a house. I wanted to not have a car payment. I wanted to know what it was like to not have to live off of state assistance. I wanted to know what it was like to just be able to go to a nice restaurant and not have to tell my children we don't have to share. You get what you want, you get what I want, mama's gonna get what I want, and if we want dessert at the end, great. And not only that, but I wanted to be generous in my tipping. I wanted to let people know that I was so grateful for them helping me and giving me, myself and my children, a great experience at a restaurant. Those are the things that I knew one day I would get to a place where that would be my lifestyle. There would come a place where I knew I would be a homeowner. I knew that at some point I was going to buy myself my first Louis Vuitton bag. I never believed in knockoffs. I never believed in, fake anything. But I knew that the day that I did that for myself, that I was doing all right. I knew the day would come. I knew the day would come where I would be an entrepreneur. I knew the day would come where I would be able to set my own schedule. I would be able to have flexibility and freedom. I just knew it and I believed in myself. So when I self-evaluated what I was going through, I had to make the change. I had to say not only to myself or keep it in my mind, but I had to speak out loud. I had to put it out there so that the universe would hear that Iris was ready for a comeback. Iris is ready and was ready to fight for what she was dreaming about. Iris was ready to take everything back that was stolen from her. I had to become a fighter. I was so timid and shy my whole life. I had to get to a place where I was like, girl, get it together. It's like all of a sudden I became brave. I became courageous. I was a fighter. And it's like what I wanted, I would fight for it. My mentality had to change. It's like I had to stand up a little bit taller and just know I have got it within me. So when I started to really begin to turn around and find my find that thing, find that niche, find the thing that made me thrive in life, things began to turn around. And my turnaround season was probably the best time of my life. But aside from fighting for my dreams and fighting for my children and fighting for a better life and fighting for just the ability to not be on welfare and not depend on that. And when I got sick and tired of always having my bank in the negative, things began to change. I found myself. I began to find my voice. And during all of this time of where I was finding the thing to help me succeed or to catapult me to the next thing, to the next level, to the next dimension of, the breakthrough, I can sit here and honestly tell you that it really wasn't until I completely gave my everything, my heart, my mind, my soul, my life, my being, everything about me, when I gave it to Christ and when I allowed him in, is when everything really, really began to change. I thought growing up I knew Christ. I thought growing up, I'm cool. Like I got a relationship with God. I go to church. I mean, we're good. But I had it all wrong. It wasn't until I hit my rock bottom and I invited him in and I was like, okay, I can't do this on my own. I've tried, and I have failed more times than I can count. So when I was able to really invite Christ in and begin to have a relationship with God, and I began to read the Bible and I began to seek him for myself, not just what the pastor would say or not just what, my friend would say, but when I began to really build that relationship and have a relationship with God is when I seen my true turnaround. Today, I want to let you know that I have a husband who not only took me in and loved on me, but also took my 3 babies in. And for someone to help you raise children that aren't even their blood, tell me that's not a gift from God. Today, my husband and I, we are proud homeowners of our first home. Last month, it was a year that we were official homeowners. That's exciting. I have a successful business. I've been in business for about 8 years. And it was hard in the beginning. It was hard just trusting your gut instinct, or it was hard just being independent. But I was tired of working for people. I was tired of having someone tell me when I could come, when I could go, when I could take my lunch, when I could take my breaks, and not really making it, So I decided to branch out and become independent. And 8 years later, my business is super successful. And when I say super successful, we're in June and I have people that are booked out, clients that are booked clear until the end of 2019 on my schedule. And it is so hard to keep up with all of my clients in the sense of I don't have enough time in my day. And if I'm not careful, I could literally stay at work till 10 p.m. But man, when I invited God to be my business partner, when I invited him to be at the center of my conversations with my clients, everything just became greater. My clients literally come to me and they're like, oh my gosh, there's such a sense of peace and a calm when I come to your room. There is something about you, Iris, that I can't really put my finger on it. Well, I'm here to say that that's God's love. The freedom that I found in Christ, that's what these women are seeing about me. The glow that I have about me, makeup helps, but it's not that. In the Bible it says, I can do all things through Christ. And I am such a firm believer in that verse. Because I can do things on my own and I can, try to depend on me. But you can only go so far in life. But when you walk hand in hand with our Creator, with God, it just becomes better. This year in 2019, it by far has been the greatest business year that I have had or have experienced in the past. I'm blown away. There's so many times that I look at my schedule or I reflect on the conversations that I have with these clients, and it blows my mind to know that I've come so far. And it wasn't just me because I'm lucky, but God deserves the honor and the glory for that, because he truly has covered me. He has protected me. His plan was greater than my plan. So much greater than my own plan. Gosh, my heart is overwhelmed because I know that the best is yet to come. I know that there's so much more in store, that things that I haven't even began to, or even I've not even been able to even wrap my mind around the greatness that is in store. I mean, I'm exposed by amazing women at my church on a daily basis, and not that many women have the opportunity for that, or not that many people are surrounded by greatness, but I am. I'm surrounded by different entrepreneurs. I'm surrounded by like-minded people. I'm surrounded by people who want more. And I know that I want more. And I know money isn't everything. And money definitely isn't the answer to everything. But it is a bonus and it helps. But when your mindset is changed, when your mindset is different, there's so much freedom in that. But because I know what it was like to be on welfare, and I know what it was like to not have anything, to where I'm at today, how could you not want more? How could you not want to fight for, what's next? I'm so excited to have shared a little bit of my story, and I pray that if you are still watching this till the end of this video, that you are encouraged, and that my story inspires you some way, somehow. And if your life is already on the mountaintop, I'm happy for you. And if you're super successful and you're super happy and everything is going good, I'm so happy for you. But girl, if you feel like your life is still in the valley, or if you feel like you're barely hanging on by that thread, I encourage you, find your strength. Don't let what life has done to you, or don't allow how life has knocked you down to keep you down, because you're a fighter. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Be encouraged. I hope you're motivated. I hope you're inspired. I hope that if my story has touched you in any kind of way, go ahead and comment down below. I love to hear feedback. I love to be able to see what other women are going through or what they've gone through, because you're not alone. We've all been there. We've all started from the bottom. Some of us might still be at the bottom, but girl, you're not alone. Be blessed, be encouraged, and stay tuned for another video. Make sure that you subscribe and make sure that you turn on your notifications for future videos. Bye.